Hello everyone, I am Neha Thakur and in this video I'll be talking about specialization and generalization. But before moving to specialization and generalization, there are two terms that you should be aware of, that is supertype and subtype. So a supertype is a generic entity type that has a relationship with one or more subtypes, and a subtype is a subgrouping of entities in an entity type that is meaningful to organization and shares common interest or common attributes. So what this means is a supertype is an entity type that can be divided into subtypes. And what is a subtype? A subtype is an entity type that is obtained from dividing a supertype on the basis of some common attributes or relationship. So let's see the basic notation of supertype and subtype relationships. So here we have supertype, which is divided into various subtypes, and the supertype has all the attributes that are shared by all the entities, and subtype has attributes that are unique to only that subtype. So let's consider an example. Suppose we have an entity type called a student, and we can have two types of student. One is the regular student and another one is a private student. So a super type over here would be a student, and a subtype one is regular student and subtype 2 is private student. So in super type, what attributes will we have is a student share attributes that like student name, student roll number, course. So these are the attributes that are common to all kinds of student. And for regular student, what is the attribute that is unique to it? So let's consider there is an attribute called room number, and room number is unique to subtype regular student only, because the private student cannot have a room number or a classroom number assigned to them. Okay, so let's see one more example. Here we have an entity employee, which has all these attributes which are unique to all the entities. And employee is divided into three subtypes: hourly employee, salaried employee, and consultant. So hourly employee has a unique attribute named hourly rate. Salaried employee has a unique attribute named annual salary and stock option. And likewise, consultant has two unique attributes: contract number and billing rate. So all these attributes are unique to their subtypes, and these attributes are unique to all, are common to all the attributes. And next is when to use supertype and subtype relationship. So the answer to this is there are attributes that apply to some of the instances of entity type. For example, let's see here in employee, we have hourly employee, salaried employed, and consultant as a type as subtypes, and employee as supertype. So the unique attributes of the subtypes like hourly rate is not applicable for salaried employee, and annual salary is not applicable for consultant. So here we have some of the attributes that are not common to all the entity type. So in such case, we'll need a supertype subtype relationship. Next, let's consider generalization. So a formal definition for generalization is it is a process of defining a more general entity type from a set of more specialized entity types, or it is a process in which common attributes of more than one entities form a new entity, and this newly formed entity is called generalized entity. So what this definition means is, in generalization, what we do is we combine all the subtypes into one generalized entity, and that generalized entity is the supertype, and it is a bottom-up process. So let's consider an example. Here we have three entities: car, truck, and motorcycle. So car has these following attributes that are price, vehicle ID, vehicle name, number of passengers, and engine displacement. Similarly, truck has some attributes and motorcycle has some attributes. So as you can see over here, there are some attributes that are common in both, in three of them. like price, vehicle ID, vehicle name, and engine displacement. Both, all the three of entities have these attributes. So what we can do is we can combine all these entity and make a generalized entity, which will be a super type. So let's consider the generalized entity is vehicle. So this is what it will look like. We have vehicle as a generalized entity, which has all the common attributes. Here we saw that price, vehicle ID, vehicle name, and engine displacement are the common attributes in all three of the entities. So here we'll write all the common attributes. Then we divided this vehicle into two subtypes, that is car and truck. And these are the unique attributes. As we can see here, car has a unique attribute named number of passenger, truck has a unique attribute named cab type and capacity. So these are the unique attributes. Now, as you can see, I have not divided the vehicle into motorcycle. And why is it so? So the answer is motorcycle does not have any unique attributes. As you can see over here, there are no unique attributes. These are all the common attributes that all these entities share. So there is no need of dividing, having one more subtype of vehicle. So that's why I have excluded motorcycle from here. Here's one more example. So we have two entities, faculty and student. They have their unique attributes, and these are the common attributes which is mentioned in the generalized entity. So faculty and student can be generalized into an entity named person. So I hope it is clear. And there was one more point that generalization is a bottom-up process. And why is generalization called a bottom-up process? Because here we go from bottom to top. That is, we generalize these subtypes into a generalized entity that is a supertype. So it is known as a bottom-up process. So let's consider a real life example. So all of us belong to some or the other friend circle. So how are these friend circle formed? So these friend circles are formed based on some common interest, and all the members in the friend circle have some common interest. So let's consider we have 5 members over here with their Instagram handles. Like we have Harsh, Reha, eccentric storyteller, Click a Doodle, and Sudiksha Agrawal. So here we have 5 members, and they have some unique attributes and some common attributes. So here the common attributes are they have the same, they are studying the same course, and all 5 of them love animal and food. So these are the common attributes, and there are some unique attributes to them also. So what we can do is generalize all these 5 entities into one generalized entity that is a super type. So what we did here is we generalized all these 5 entities into a generalized entity named Brogan. And here are the common attributes, that is course, love for animals, love for food. And here are the unique attributes that are unique to this entity only. So like Harsh is a gamer, Ria loves singing, eccentric storyteller is a great writer, Click a Doodle is great at making mandalas, and Sudiksha Agrawal is great at making portraits. So these are the unique attributes, and this is the common attributes. And we have generalized all these 5 members into one generalized entity named Brogan. So this is the process of generalization. Now let's study about specialization. So specialization is a process of defining one or more subtypes of the supertype and forming supertype subtype relationship. Each subtype is formed based on some distinguishing characteristics such as attribute or relationship specific to subtype. So what this definition means is specialization is just the reverse of generalization. Okay. So what we did in generalization was we generalized all these subtypes into a generalized entity. And what we'll do in specialization is just the reverse. That is, we'll divide the supertype into subtypes. Okay. In generalization, we generalized the subtypes into supertype, and now here we'll divide the supertype into subtypes, and it is a top-down approach, whereas generalization was a bottom-up approach. So let's see an example. Here we have an entity named part, which has the following attributes, that is quantity on hand, part number, description, and so on. So now we can divide part into two or more subtypes. So basically a part can be manufactured in the industry, or it can be bought from some supplier. So on the basis of where it is manufactured or from where it is bought, we'll divide part into two categories, that is manufactured part and purchased part. So here these are all the common attributes that are shared by all the entities, and this is the unique attribute of manufactured part. And here we have a relationship between purchased part and supplier, that is a supplier will supply a purchased part which will have some unit price, and the supplier will have a supplier ID. So what we did here is we divided part, that is a super type, into two categories. So this is specialization. In generalization, we did what we did was just the reverse of specialization. That is, we generalized subtypes into one generalized entity named super type. Okay. Here is another example. So here we have an entity named employee, and employee can be of two types, tester or developer. So on the basis of the qualification or the job profile of an employee, what we'll do is divide them into two categories, that is tester and developer. So tester will have its unique attributes, developer will have any unique attributes that you want to give, and employee will have all the common attributes that is shared by all the entities. Now, I hope specialization and generalization are clear. And there are some constraints which are applied to supertype and subtype relationship. And these constraints are completeness and jointness. So first we'll have a look at completeness. So this is a formal definition of completeness constraint, and basically what it means is that we have to ask a question that whether this supertype is a member of one of its subtype or not. And depending on the answer that we get, we have two types of specialization, that is total specialization and partial specialization. So total specialization specifies that each entity instance of supertype must be member of some subtype in relationship. So let's consider an example. Here we have an entity type named patient, and it has two subtypes, outpatient and resident patient. So we'll ask the question that whether this patient belongs to one of its subtype. So the answer is yes, because a patient can either be an outpatient or a resident patient. And we can see that patient belongs to one of its subtype. So suppose we have an outpatient, so the patient entity will belong to the subtype outpatient. So this type of specialization is known as total specialization, and it is represented by two lines. And the next we have is partial specialization. And in partial specialization, again, we ask the question that whether this subtype, this super type belongs to one of its entity or not. So here we have the super type vehicle. So we have and subtypes car and truck. So the answer to the question is no. We can have some subtypes that we can have some kind of vehicle that does not belong to one of its subtypes. So for example, we can have a vehicle as motorcycle. So here we do not have any subtypes as motorcycle. So there can be some vehicles that do not belong to these subtypes, that is any vehicle except car and truck does not belong to this any of its subtype. So this type of specialization is known as partial specialization, and it is represented by a single line. And this is the formal definition of partial specialization. So to sum up, total specialization is a specialization in which the supertype belongs to one of its subtype, and in partial specialization, we have a supertype that may or may not belong to one of its subtype. So this is it for the video. I hope you understood the concept of specialization and generalization. Thank you for watching.